A Texas jury orders Alex Jones to pay millions to the parents of a child killed in the Sandy Hook school shooting.
And it's really, really nice to be able to turn and look at my clients and say he can't get off scot-free for this.
We look closer at the defamation trial and why it could have an impact beyond the ruling in this case. A new push to get details about the law enforcement response to the Uvalde school shooting. Why one lawmaker launched a court fight for transparency. Texas has an unprecedented budget surplus, and the governor has a plan for where that money should go.
We have a one-time opportunity to do more than we've ever done before.
The promises he's making now to help Texans facing rising property tax bills. Monkeypox cases rising in Texas as college students get ready to return to campus.
So I guess I'm a little worried about people coming in here and spreading it.
How colleges and universities are preparing to respond to potential outbreaks.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. An Austin jury ruled that InfoWars host Alex Jones must pay for falsely saying the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was a hoax. Jones was ordered to pay millions in damages to the parents of a first grader killed in the mass shooting just days after admitting on the witness stand he now believes the shooting was 100% real. But what happened in court could have larger implications beyond this case. Avery Travis followed the trial and brings us a closer look.
At the heart of this trial are Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, who lost their son Jesse in the shooting at Sandy Hook, and who say they faced harassment and even threats after Jones' comments on InfoWars that the shooting was a hoax and other comments that the parents were crisis actors. The jury ruled that Jones must pay millions for the mental anguish caused by those false claims, but their attorneys didn't stop there. They asked for more money to punish Jones for his comments.
To take the bullhorn away from Alex Jones and take the first steps towards taking that bullhorn away from all the others who have it, or all the others who might want it, all the others who believe they can profit off of fear and misinformation.
Jones does have a history of raising conspiracy claims about other tragedies, including the deadly mass shootings in Las Vegas and Parkland, Florida. He acknowledged that history in court. But Jones and his team have argued throughout the trial this whole case was an attack on his First Amendment rights to free speech, and that he's just a talk show host asking questions.
He ran with a story he shouldn't have about an issue of national importance. The plaintiffs didn't hear about it till years later. At our trial, and he has apologized, and he apologized on that stand repeatedly, and offered to have the parents on his show.
Throughout the case, the family's attorneys fired back, saying that the speech in this case is not protected. That's because Jones was found liable already for defamation by default after not turning over court records and other documents that were supposed to be entered as evidence. That's important because there was another bombshell revelation inside the courtroom during this trial. The attorney representing the parents revealed that Jones' defense team mistakenly sent him 2 years' worth of contents from Jones' cell phone. He claimed that evidence contradicted some of what Jones said under oath during the trial. He called Jones a liar on the stand. This could have implications beyond this case. In fact, the family's attorneys say they've already been asked to turn over those materials from Jones' cell phone to the U.S. House Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. You'll remember that January 6th committee subpoenaed Jones last fall. They were looking for documents and testimony as they continue their probe into the rallies that led up to the attack. We'll continue to follow it. From the courthouse, Avery Travis, back to you.
Thanks, Avery. According to the Associated Press, Jones will face another Sandy Hook trial to determine damages later this year. AP reports it will be for 8 families in Connecticut. There are new developments in another court battle, this one the fight over transparency from the law enforcement response to the Uvalde school shooting. A hearing happened Thursday after State Senator Roland Gutierrez sued the Department of Public Safety. Gutierrez wants DPS to release a body cam video, 911 calls, and other records he says are critical for accountability. Capitol correspondent Monica Madden listened in to the virtual hearing and learned new details about information that's not being released.
That's right. We learned 34 of DPS troopers on scene and other law enforcement officers that were responding have body cam footage that is available. That's being reviewed by investigators right now, and Director Stephen McCraw, who testified, says he has not reviewed all of that body cam footage. We also learned that DPS had a drone on scene and there is video footage of that. We heard from Christina Mitchell-Busby, that's the Uvalde District Attorney, for the first time today. She gave a couple different reasons for why she believes that this information should not be released to the public and Senator Gutierrez yet. She says that she's looking into possible law enforcement response that day and possibly some prosecution on that front. She and the state both say that witnesses could change their accounts if they hear some things like these 911 calls, and they don't want that to affect the investigation. Mitchell-Busby says she does not want to re-traumatize the families and victims who have already been through so much in the duration of this investigation. Now, I spoke with Senator Roland Gutierrez, who is the one suing in this, and he says that while it might be normal for investigators to withhold some of this information, in this case, it's absolutely critical for the public to know. Take a listen.
Families are broken. They're tired of government telling them, oh, this happened. Oh, no, never mind. That didn't happen. It happened this way. They want to know the truth. I'm not asking to see their children in those classrooms. I'm asking for questions as to the responsibilities of the Department of Public Safety, because they're accountable to me in the legislature.
Now, the judge says she wants to get this case resolved as soon as possible and gave parties involved in the lawsuit a 5 p.m. Monday deadline for submitting responding documents in this lawsuit. In Travis County for State of Texas, Monica Madden, back to you.
Thanks, Monica. Senator Gutierrez told us the Department of Public Safety asked him to sign a non-disclosure agreement in exchange for information, but the senator says he won't sign an agreement because he wants those records made public.
As monkeypox cases rise, there are new worries about cases on college campuses.
College students, being college students, maybe tend to engage in a little more risky behavior than other people might.
The steps colleges and universities are taking to prevent potential outbreaks as students return to campus. Crisis conditions for youth in Texas juvenile detention facilities, how staffing shortages are causing serious problems, and what one lawmaker is doing to try to take action now. A Texas law aims to improve interactions between officers and drivers with communication challenges. But an Austin area mom is pointing out problems, how her concerns are leading to action and change.